Hello, everyone. Good evening. Can you all hear me? Hello.
Hey, Sarah. Yeah.
Hello. Good evening. Hi, Debbie. Great to have you here.
Hey, Sarah. Likewise, likewise. I'm so sorry. I tried to make sure I'm settled before 6, but I'm still on the road. So I'll be here. I'll participate, but I will connect my um video soon as I settle. Hi.
I think you're muted.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Thank you, Debbie. No problem. Precious, can you hear us clearly?
Good evening.
Sorry,
Good
Precious,
evening.
can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Perfect. All right. Please give me
Okay.
a minute. Yeah. Let me check on our last speaker for today. If she's available.
Okay.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Women in DeFi anniversary webinar. If you can hear me loud and clear, can you please say something on the comments so I can know that you're present and you can also hear me? Can we all hear me? We're live now. Perfect. Uh, so I'm not going to waste our time because we're already like 6 minutes late. So we're just going to jump right into action. For those that see me for the first time, my name is Sarah Idawosa, and I'm the founder of the Women in DeFi organization. Women in DeFi is a non-profit organization that empowers women about blockchain technology as well as skills needed to grow in the blockchain space. And today, or rather yesterday, we clocked 2 years old as an organization as well as a community that's been doing this great work of impacting the lives of women through blockchain. And today, we decided to like host a webinar to celebrate this success or to celebrate our years of existence. And the theme for this webinar is a look through the lenses fostering inclusivity in blockchain technology. So we're going to be having some women that have been building structures in the blockchain space, women who have been leading, who have been at the forefront of the blockchain, empowering other women, and also building structures of their own to make sure that more people are being empowered and more people like are being brought into the blockchain space. So if you're excited, just as I am, to be here today, can I don't know, probably drop an emoji on the comments or say something. If we're excited to hear from everything our speakers of today, what they have to share with us. If you're looking forward to this session, I would appreciate if you drop a comment or something so we'd know that yes, everyone is following. That's good. All right, guys. Thank you so much. So, without much ado, I'll be introducing our speakers that we have for us that will be joining us for this session today. And these three women for this first session are people that I look up to them. Like in particular, there's never a time I'll text any of them that I don't say my boss, even though they will tell me that they are not my boss. I don't know why they keep rejecting the boss role that is their own. So the first person that will be joining us today is a wonderful woman. who I look up to in the space. She's someone that, since I got into the crypto space, I'm not going to lie to you all that she's someone who I've always looked at what she's building. I've always like have a thing for her products, and she's the CEO of African Blockchain Network. She has dedicated majority of her career to the financial service market industry with a diverse background that includes strategy and innovation, retail, as well as women banking. She's culminating experience, or rather, accumulating experience is now being utilized to drive blockchain adoption in Africa through innovative Web3 solutions. And to you all, I bring to your radar the amazing Deborah Ojengbede. Hi, Debbie.
Hey, Sarah. You didn't say
Hello.
anything, but I see you actually.
Welcome to our
So,
amazing session.
hi.
Great. So the second speaker we have is a very wonderful lady. I call her the Agba Traveler, because today she's in Nigeria, tomorrow she's in Dubai, the next time we check, she's somewhere in Europe. Like, she's my boss. She's an entrepreneur as well as a visionary leader in the Web3 industry. Her expertise in crypto trading, growth marketing, and venture capitalism, that's a lot, has earned her recognition as a dynamic and influential figure in the industry. She's the founder and the CEO of Josiah, a prominent Web3 marketing agency operating in Nigeria, Dubai, and the US. You all, if your hands are not too busy from the comfort of your home, please put your hands together for the amazing Precious Josiah. Hi, Precious.
Hi, Sarah. Good evening. Only me. You're always
Hello.
denying that you are not the boss.
We're so happy
Hi.
to have you here.
Thank you. Hi,
Hope you're
Deborah.
having a
Hi,
good day.
God. Yes, I am. I'm actually still at work, so I just said I want to finish the webinar before I start going on. So yeah. You're muted. You're muted.
Sorry, I didn't know. I said thank you so much for taking our time for joining us today. We really appreciate your presence, Precious. And yeah, our third speaker for this session, this one is Odogu herself. She's everywhere I go. Like there is no major community that has to do with like either women in blockchain space or even like educating other people in the blockchain space that I don't see her. Like her name is always there, and I'm like, oh my god, this is my boss.
I think Sarah's network, or is it my own?
Okay, I thought it was mine. I think it's hers.
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
it's yours.
at your network, I think it's frozen.
Yeah. Hi, Debbie. It's good to see you. It's
Hey,
good to hear
caller.
your voice.
Hi,
Hi,
Josiah.
Josiah.
I'm still,
Precious.
I'm still on the road. Trust Lagos traffic.
Hi,
Yeah.
Karen.
I can
Hi,
hear.
how are you doing?
I understand.
I think the
Yeah.
network has thrown her out
StreamYard has robbed her.
sincerely.
Let's just see if she come back up.
Okay. So I think we should just keep the conversation going instead of waiting for her. So when she comes, she will take over. So
Yeah.
how is everything, Kara? Good. I think this is the first time I'm like meeting you. I'm seeing you face to face. I've been hearing, but like, seeing you face to face. So
You've been hearing. Wow. Interesting.
yeah, I've been hearing. I think I've one or two times. Yeah. So Deborah is my boss. Like I've seen her a couple of times. We're learning from her. Like she's the boss. Yes. So
Where is the boss? So we
You're not
who
serious.
doesn't know
You and
women?
you, Era, you guys are not serious.
you muted your mic to come.
Debbie,
Are you coming to say yes that you
Debbie, you
accept?
cannot deny that.
You don't need to be
I'm
humble.
so
Get.
sorry.
You guys, you
Please.
Sarah
guys,
is
fine.
back.
I'm so
Okay.
sorry. Please, my Wi-Fi suddenly went off, and I don't know why or how, and so
It
I
happens.
got disconnected.
This is why I said
So
you should
I'm
relocate to
not done
Dubai.
introducing Sorry, Precious said.
This is why I say you should
She
relocate
said
to
this is why we
Dubai
should
because it's
relocate to
comfortable.
Dubai.
I'm tired. I'm tired, bro. Like I was still introducing my boss before network said and I'm like, no, it's impossible. So no matter what, I'll still come back and say it. So like I said, she got into the crypto space in 2017, and since then she has been like taking out time to understand blockchain infrastructures like since 2019, and she decided to build with it. By 2022, she started building projects. And by 2021, come on, she's a full-blown founder. She has been building various products and people in the Web3 space for the past 3 years. You all, I bring to you the founder of Crypto Smart and as well as the lead partner for Borderless, Carla Ubakolo. Hi, Carla.
Thank you. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Thank you so much for
We're so
having me
happy
here.
to have you
Thank you so much.
here. Great.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm grateful. Thank you.
You're the one
And you
that's
are the
supposed to
boss, so I don't know why you say I'm the boss.
this one
Sarah,
everybody checks
please.
the role.
Thank
Anyways,
you
so
so
quickly,
much.
guys, these three amazing women rather, will be taking us on an important topic that we all need to learn, that we all need to know about in this space, and it is on the power of collaboration, building strong ecosystems in Web3. I'm sure when I was reading out their bios, like we were able to hear or like understand that these people, these women have been building things not today. They are founders, like each of them are already founding something in Web3 space. So today they'll be educating us on what collaboration is like what collaboration can actually do for us as women if we collaborate with other women in the space or even other people, our allies, like the men, to build sustainable structures in the blockchain space. So quickly, because we're already fast, like our time is far gone, and I know that our ladies have other things they are doing. I'd want each of them to like, I know I already just gave their bios to like just briefly introduce themselves as well as their role in the Web3 space, basically. And sorry, in addition to that, they should just also tell us like what inspired them to pursue a career in Web3, as well as what motivates them to continue like in the Web3 space. So I would want Debbie to go first, then Precious and Carla.
Yeah, sure, Sarah. Can you hear me though?
Yes, yes, although you're kind of like
All
breaking.
right, and sorry if any background noise. Okay. I'm on the road to leave, but I'll try to keep it straight. Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Sarah, for having me here. So my name is Deborah, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Blockchain Network. We were a Web3 innovation launchpad. Our primary mission is to support and uh, to founders and three teams that are leveraging technology to solve problems.
Sorry,
In a nutshell, what we essentially do is
sorry, Debbie. I'm so sorry to cut you, but like you're really
yeah,
breaking, and at the same time you're sort of like echoing. The network is really, really bad on your end, but you can go again, anyways. So,
yeah, I was connected to the car Bluetooth. Is it still echoing
no,
though?
it's a lot better. Actually, I can hear you clearly now.
All right, cool. Okay, so I'll go again. My name is Deborah. Thanks for having me here, Sarah. My name is Deborah. I'm CEO and co-founder African Blockchain Network. We're a Web3 launchpad, and what we do essentially is we work closely with startups. We work closely with founders and teams that are leveraging Web3 technology to solve problems. So, in a nutshell, what we do basically is we build with you through your development process and ultimately, bringing your visions to life from conception to launch, as well as ensuring the success and growth of these projects in the Web3 space. And to your other question, Sarah, so personally, right, what inspires me till today is the immense potential that Web3 holds. Blockchain technology has really, really opened my eyes to enormous opportunities, especially for regions like Africa. And the more I get to explore the Web3 space, the more I can see all of the abundant opportunities that exist, and that's basically what drives my passion. And just to further deep dive on that, what motivates me is the fact that I've also realized that I can't build everything myself, right? And we all can't single-handedly build it all except we work together. And so that is what essentially established the Ascend Launchpad in itself, a platform where we collaborate closely and we work together with other amazing people building really good, great, innovative solutions in the blockchain space. So, so far it's been a very, very beautiful journey building, and yeah, I'm excited to be building in this space.
Great. Thank you so much, Debbie. We really appreciate you coming here today. And yeah, what you guys are doing at Afen is really wonderful. I have been following you up, like I said, since I got into the crypto space. I think Afen should be like one of the very first blockchain projects that actually caught my attention then. And yeah, since then, I've been a huge fan of you and your work. So thank you so much. And this topic is just really perfect for you because basically like what you said you do at AFN is all about collaboration, like collaborating with people building projects, and that is basically what we're here to learn about. So Kala, could you come next before Precious?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, okay, great. All right, thank you so much. You caught me that I was doing something else. All right, so I'm really inspired by Deborah's info. What she said in 2021, I remember very well in 2021, where there was this thing, affect was everywhere, and I remember going to her DM on IG to speak with her. I'm like, ah, wow! Like I also saw she was somebody who is in music. I'm music also, so we didn't get to talk for a year. I think before we got to really, really talk was before we even got to meet was 2022. And I remember we went out for some sort of lunch or something, and we really talked at length. It was like a 3 hour discussion in Lagos then. So it was really cool. I'm saying this because collaboration might not just be about all coming together to build a project or something. Collaboration could just you making new friends, having new friends in the space that really inspire you. When I saw what how Afen started in 2021, I was really inspired, and I was like, no, I must know this lady. But it took it took 1 year before I actually got to meet her and know her. And funny enough, after we had talked, she had looked at the IG and said, "Ah, you sent me a message then." I said, "You don't see up now." So apart from just building projects, make friends with people who inspire you, get into their circle, get to know them, and stay inspired. So my story started in 2016 as um, I keep talking about how I went to university and how I sort of like put my way through school. So I was always looking for money in school, basically. So to pay school fees, to do stuff. So that's how I got to meet blockchain and crypto. But um, I didn't really understand the technology till when I was done with school. So at first it was just about money for me, trying to make money and do this one, do that one. But when I got to begin understanding the technology, once I understood the technology, it was like it was set. I am building in this space. My career is going to be in this space, and um 2021 was when I started building Crypto Smart. I also started another NFT project called Clip. And then 2022, my biggest challenge that period was developers. So I had another idea I wanted to build called BitSafe. So I told myself, see this one, if you don't have developers to work with, I'm not doing anything. So I started, getting devs to work with. Just put out some word out there. Some developers will come. We have people who do understand, developers who do understand Web3. I had to teach them. And me, I'm a business developer. I don't code. I understand the tech, but I don't know how to build it with the codes and all. I also know how the maths work because that's how I created BitSafe protocol. So it took a while to teach these guys who were not so good with Web3 to Web2. So who were not so good with Web3 to understand Web3 and how to build on it. And I was also able to meet sort of like geniuses in on campuses, because then I was done with school. But I noticed that the people who I could identify that had so many potentials with building were in universities. And if I tell you some of the things that they build, you'll be surprised. Some actually have the ability to build, blockchains. They understand the tech, they have the gift. So that experience early 2022 made me say, okay, fine. So let's create a not for profit that would just focus on young people in universities and bring this technology to them, teach them, sort of like help them understand building in Web3. And that was how Borderless started. And so it's just been a really good journey from 2022 till now. A lot of our products are ready to launch. The other services we provide and all that stuff. The inspiration has just been, I think for me, inspiration is more like impact. I found something that I could make a lot of impact with. And the even the little impact I made encouraged me to do more. So that's just been the inspiration. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Carla. I think your story is like really inspiring and it's something that I can relate with because I also got into the space, I think during my finals then in school, and I came just to make money. But from making money, I got to learn more about the tech, and since then, I was like, we die here, and that's how it has been for me. And since then, I've been trying to like build people who would then now come and build products because I'd rather just be at the back at the sideline, like saying, yes, let's go, let's do it. I can coordinate, but for the main building work, maybe later in the future, we're going to come for that. But yeah, thank you so much, Carla, for like that wonderful introduction. So, Precious, would like to hear from you.
Okay, thank you. Amazing story for Carla and Deborah. It's now looking like, oh, what am I doing here? Like, what am I doing here? But okay, so for me, I think I came to the space 2019. The same thing. I think everybody was actually after the money. Come on, all of us are looking for money. You have to look for money. That is the goal. Like that is I think that's the beginning of it. Before you want to build anything, you have to eat. If you're hungry, you can't tell me that you want to use something and build. What are you building? It was later after we started making money, we decided to enter into tech actually, like for everybody. So for me, I think I was learning crypto trading. I started making money from OTC exchange. Then from there, I said like I said, okay, what's really here? I think I was making money from airdrops. I think I started getting maybe if you do moderator jobs, they give you some amount of money. Like they were like really make money in this thing. I'm like, okay. So I think I went to Dubai 2020 for the first time and I saw opportunities there. And I was a CMO, chief marketing officer for various companies and like one or two, and I was also working as marketer for some of them. And I saw that okay, in Africa we have why I said the marketing agency. I have a lot of ideas, but I just said, okay, let me see how to bring it into Africa. I was looking for more like somebody that was doing it that we could okay look up to, but there was nobody, especially in the African Nigerian space. And sometimes when I work with this brand, I want to outsource for marketing agency. I didn't get to see anybody we could trust, just one or two, and they were really hard to reach, and they were outrageously very expensive. So I was like, okay, this is a couple of them. Sometimes when they come and give me influencer job, they were like, okay, can you recommend some influencers from your side too? And so many of them and so many jobs. So I was like, okay, this is a problem that needed to be solved, especially in Africa. Why not, start something? So that was how a marketing agency started. But beyond that, I already had a lot of other visions, right? Like some for Nigerian project, because of some of the projects I've worked for before, they have great projects, but they were having funding issues. So that was why I said, okay, JSA is not just a Web3 marketing agency. Web3 marketing agency is just a marketing agency is just going to be like one of the expressions, and that's why we are trying to launch because we're trying to raise funds for projects that are doing well, like let's say $20 million for a start, or like a venture capital for Web3 blockchain startup. Then I think because of my my experience in media, I also said, okay, in Africa, we're just trying to change the narrative and collaborate with a lot of African brands that are doing well. I need the platform to scale. So that's why even the venture capitalists were looking not just to give people money, but to empower them through accelerator and incubators and so many other things. We're also bringing our project on board. It's going to be like a project, one of the product of JSI. It's going to be like tech, but that is still by the side. So we're here for the money, and so many things has been happening. And so we just said, okay, why not we, come in because of some of the connections. And when I went to Dubai, I met a lot of founders, and I just tried to see, okay, how can I make an impact while trying to make people collaborate and learn from every other thing, because I was feeling like, okay, I feel like I've not really been in this space for so long. I've just been in this space for like 3 years or 4 years. But then I just said, okay, it's not really how far or how well. It's about your network of people. It's about what you are able to give out, and the value you're giving to the community, and what people are actually gaining from it. So that's why we are here. That's where I am now. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Precious. That's like really, really inspiring, and trust me, that's a lot. Where like you deserve your own accolades. Like, well done. And I see everything you're doing with Jesiah, and I must say that you guys are doing so well. Because from initially when you started, I thought it was just going to be all about marketing, but seeing how far you've now gone from just being like a marketing agency to now helping like people with funding, like bringing into the VC arm, that is really great. It's really amazing, and I think,
Yeah, we have
of
not
course,
launched yet. It's still in
okay,
process. Yeah.
no
So
problem, because we had the discussion in Abuja, I think December last
yeah.
year when we met. And yes, I'm looking forward to everything. And so I'm so excited for what's to come with you. So yeah, now let's get down into action. But I think, okay, let's get back into action. Debbie is back. Perfect. Because the first question I have is actually for Debbie. So, for someone who is building a firm that is into collaboration, Debbie would like to know from you, like, in the context of Web3, what is collaboration, and why is it crucial? Why is it important when building ecosystems in the space? Sorry, Debbie, are you there? You're muted.
Uh, I'm speaking actually,
Oh, okay, I can hear you now.
but can anyone else hear me?
Hello? Sorry, Carla, can you hear Debbie? I don't know if it's just me.
Yeah, I could hear her.
Yeah, but like I think
I
right now
could.
we've
So
lost her.
I gave it some thumbs up.
Yeah, I think we've lost her because I can bet she's still speaking because her mic is not yet unmuted, and or rather it's not yet muted, but we can't hear her. Well, while we wait for Debbie, I think our network is actually the problem. Let's just move on. And my next question is actually to Precious. Yeah. So, what are some of the common, like, this is actually a question I love. It's basically
Can you
one
hear
of,
me now?
yes, I can.
Okay, sorry, battling with network. Okay,
Okay.
I can you take that question again?
Yes, I said for someone who is like building a fan and you're all about collaboration, because I see a lot of things that you do. Would like to know from you, like in the context of Web3, what does collaboration mean, and how crucial or important is it when building ecosystems in the space?
Yeah, thanks. I will actually take this off of something that Carla said. Um, Sometimes collaboration is not necessarily when you come together I mean, not always when you come together to build a project. I remember when the first time I met um, Carla as well. I learned so much from that conversation. At the time, I was very new to this space, and with a bunch of ideas in my head, right? But At the same time, I did not have, that experience of working with developers, building with people and all that. And just from my conversation with Carla, I could learn so much from her own experience building as a builder. Um, so what I also think is that as the Web3 ecosystem continues to grow, global adoption becomes dependent on collective effort. And that's where collaboration really comes to play as well. Not one single person or project can drive this global adoption that we're trying to create. Not even the regulators, right? We need to work hand in hand. So let's take Women in DeFi as an example. By the way, Sarah, congratulations on the incredible work that you've done to build such a vibrant community. I tap into your grace for real. And correct me if I'm wrong, the remarkable achievement of Women in DeFi, in my opinion, is a perfect example of the power of collaboration. Uh,
Yeah.
Women in DeFi is a huge success today, not because of Sarah alone, but you've worked closely with people, you've built a solid community that has worked together over time. And so the Web3 space is not just about crypto smart, it's not just about precious, it's not just about Afen. When we collaborate, everyone's perspectives are involved. And when that happens, we can achieve more collectively. And so that's speaking to why it is essential for building strong ecosystems. When we come together to build, we can do more. We can co-create, we can develop solutions that benefit the entire ecosystem as a whole, just also ensuring that no one is left behind. And most importantly, we can build stronger ecosystems for widespread adoption and even long term sustainability of the ecosystem. So, in my opinion, this is how I think um, collaboration about collaboration in the context of Web3 and why I believe it's essential for building strong ecosystems.
Great. Thank you so much, Debbie, for that amazing response. I think if there's something that I've always said, like whenever people come up to ask me questions on how to navigate the entire Web3 space, like I always make it a point to let them know that as you're coming into the space, don't come with the mind of a loner. Come in and know that if you want to grow, you must actually collaborate with people. Like you must have connections. You must have those friends. Like Carla said, collaboration doesn't necessarily mean you're building together. It could just be like making new friends. And honestly, for me, I like that. I like as you use them, women in DeFi as a great example. When this community, when we wanted to like create it, it's the plan was not actually to create a community. It was just to provide a safe space for women. I think at that time to just educate other women about blockchain, probably through Twitter spaces and whatnot. But then again, we were like, instead of just doing Twitter spaces, why not do proper classes since all of us like we were grounded? And that was how I reached out to some other ladies that I had previously connected to in the space. And I was really surprised when they all agreed to like work with me on this. And here we are right now, like with WID as an organization that is standing firmly on its own. So thank you so much, Debbie, for that amazing response to that question. So my next question is directly to Precious. Um, as a woman who have been navigating the space, I believe that when you started, you had a lot of things that you had to learn. You faced some challenges. So the question I would like to ask is like, what are some challenges or barriers that women face when they are collaborating with people in the Web3 space, and how have you been able to navigate these challenges? Precious.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I
Okay,
can.
so for me, I think one of what happened was, you know, it's I think it's everywhere, but then competence is one of the answers to shut up a lot of things. So that's why I always strive for excellence. So when I was coming in, people were like, okay, I think somebody actually said that, what do you know? Abi, okay, you this because people feel like it's a matter of age or a matter of when did you even come to this space? But that's why I said that's why I made that statement of competence shut up every other person that is speaking. And once you can show once you have results, everybody is going to shut up and just listen to you. So one of the issues that I faced was people undermining your ability to do things. And there's something I've learned is everybody's a work in progress. Nobody knows everything, and the ability to be able to be open to learn even as as you journey, that's is going to be the more like standpoint of how you're able to navigate the space and how your success rate is. So my number one issue was people undermining. Another was I think because of the people are this that's why I'm really I love this topic about collaboration, right? When I started and I reached out to some of the people I've worked with, everybody actually was like, okay, that's a nice. Everybody was in the when we started, we had a lot of great numbers, but now we don't have because most of them dropped down at some point because of seriousness, right? It's not everybody, and that's okay. It's not everybody that's starting the vision with you that is going to remain, and that's very okay because sometimes there may be this initial ginger, and everybody saying, okay, up and going, okay, let's go. I'm with you, but they are not with you. Trust me. So the ability to be able to, stay. I had the ability to say, okay, it's fine. There was something that happened. There was somebody that I worked with that was really very resourceful, and she was about leaving. That was the first time I saw myself. Like, I really cried. I was like, God, like, why did you have to allow this person? I didn't really want her to go, but then I understood that leadership is not about gaining followers, but empowering somebody to be able to go stand on his own and empower other people. And that is what makes somebody a very secured leader. So it's not like because of obviously, but she was very resourceful. I didn't want her to go, but then I had to come to that place that people are working with me, not for me to hold them, but for them to be able to go. And I look at them and say, okay, I was the one. I was able to help this person to be able to stand on his own and train other leaders and let them go. So another thing, the one of the challenge I also faced was getting a lot of competent people, and even when you get that competent person and they want to leave, you are very secured enough to let them go because they also have something to pursue. I think another thing I had was resources. I think before I started, I already had a couple of what did they call it? A couple of connections because of I've worked with a lot of agencies, brands, and all. So I think even my first job, I got from somebody I've worked with before. So I told them I now own an agency, and they were like, "Wow, I think that job their budget was over $50,000 for the marketing they did, and that was what we worked like." And that was because I told them I have an agency because I was one of their influencers, and sorry, because of the experience I have, and they came me back again to do that campaign again because of results. So one of the issue I had was getting competent hands, right? I'm going to explain how I was able to navigate, and it still comes back to um, collaboration because I had to seek out for help and like, okay, I know you're good with this. This is this. This is this. So the first thing I talked about was gender. People look down on you because probably you're a lady, and they said okay, but then how I was able to shut them out was competence and excellence. And when you give me something, I will do it, and you'll be asking, now, are you the one that did it or you outsource? And I talked about another is resources. Although I had a lot of resources, but I think I was still limited, and that was why how I was able to resolve that. I used my social wealth, my social network, to be able to resolve that. So the people and the people I've actually connected with before my journey, I had to reach out to them. Okay, I have this, and I was so surprised that a lot of persons were willing to do. Oh, precious! If it's you, if there is anything that you are doing, I believe in you because everything you put your mind to, if it's not work, I'm not going to rest. And that's something I really love that everybody around me know. If I want to do something, I will do it. If it does not, it has to work, unless maybe there's no other way out. But if there's a way out, then I have to stay there till it gets done. So that was how I was able to unlimited resources. I started working with what I have at the moment, and I actually use my social network and the connections I have to actually do what it takes. So that's why even these venture capitalists, the people that are even coming on as partners, limited partners in house, people I have somebody cannot give you money when they don't know the work that you have done or anything. But because of the the connection I have, somebody can easily give me. And although there's the business part, but for that trust already is there. So I think one of the things is also community. If people I love what you are actually building in Women in DeFi. Like I love it I was saying somebody, I was telling somebody, so they say there's nothing like one man's code. If you actually want to actually make money and really have people at your back, it is community is a certain type of people building repeatedly. Not you go here, you is a community. You guys are showing up every single time and you're building with them repeatedly. That's what is community. It gives them there's this sense of loyalty a lot of persons have to you because you're the founder of Women in DeFi, and they see you like, okay, this I've learned so much from her. If they make their money, they are committed. So that's community. And they easily do, maybe if there is a tax and all, they just feel like they owe it to the brand to do what they have to take because of community. I think another way I was able to I love what Deborah said. She said we cannot talk about adoption, and everybody is a collaborative effort. It takes year from year from year. And I can't even remember that sometimes I want to do something. I reach out to someone that I know that is there, and that's network. I think in Web3, most things you need here is just network of persons for you to know who knows somebody. Or if you don't know somebody, I think there is this saying that you are 3 steps away from it. If you have a problem, you are 3 steps away from the person that will solve your problem. That means somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. And I think that works in life generally. If you have a problem in life generally, you have to start thinking superior to see how to be able to navigate that issue that you think is at hand. Sometimes issues is not as big as we actually see it, and that's what I've come to learn. If I have a problem, I just sit down. Maybe if I need to shut down, I just shut down and say, okay, what do I need to do to resolve this, and what's the way forward? Who can I call? Who do I know? Like I'll just once you break it down into smaller parts, even money generally. There's everything. Once you say, okay, I want to make $1 million, I'm going to sit down and say, okay, what do I have to do to make this $1 million? I have 365 days. Okay, which skill do I have? How many clients do I have to make? That's marketing. For you to be able to break down your goals or what you want into smaller units and tell yourself, okay, this is what I have to do to do this. This is what I have to do this. And you will see that you are able to achieve everything you want to achieve. Because I know we're all here for the tech, also here for the money, right? So it works hand in hand. You can actually make money while creating impact. And I think that's what I really love what Women in DeFi is doing. And it's really very good to see women, because if you don't have support system, it's going to be it take a longer time. A destination you're supposed to reach here, you see that you're taking a longer time when you can follow mentors and get this thing done in somebody that has been there, done that. You can just get this thing in 1 month, 2 months, and you're good to go. And that's why I prefer learning from someone that has been there. I don't want to be wasting my time. I don't have time to waste. I don't want to figure it out. There's no glory in suffering. Somebody will tell me, oh, do you know what I passed through? I don't know what you passed through. I'm sorry, but I don't want to pass through what you passed through. If I can get this thing done in learning from somebody, please, I'm in. I want to do it. There's no glory in suffering. Nobody's carrying. There's no award. They'll give it to you in suffering. So some of these issues I've been able to resolve it, and I know more issues are still coming. And being able to sit down and tell yourself, most times I actually talk to myself every time, that sometimes if I see the dreams, I get scared because I'm like, okay, who will do this, who will do that? But then believing in oneself. Another thing is knowledge. Knowledge is something that I feel like I was limited in some knowledge, in some things. I have to go extra to take courses, to learn from people. I was even telling someone, like, can I pay you? Don't teach me for free. You won't have my time. Let me pay you. Come and teach me. So I was limited. Some of the challenges I have, I was limited in knowledge, and I had to accept that I was limited in knowledge and outsource. I both outsourcing and learning what it takes so that I'll be able to meet up to the criteria and the standard, because I don't want to compromise on the excellence and the competence. So when somebody sees this brand, they are going to associate something very useful to it. So I think this is just few of, because of time, of what I actually challenged and I had. So yeah.
Yes, thank you so much, Precious. Thank you very much for that amazing response. I'd say that I have actually, or rather, I can relate to, like, the two things you mentioned. That's the first one is where people doubt you, doubt your excellence, simply or because they see that you're a woman and they start asking questions like if you can do that, this, or if you can do that, until you shut them up with your competence, when you show them what you can do at that point in time. Like, I think I've been in that position more than once, like countless times, where there was even a time someone made mention of the fact that, oh, that what we're doing in the BID, we're just gathering group shots of women, like we're literally doing nothing in the space. But it
If
didn't
it's
take so
easy, they
long.
should do it.
Exactly. It didn't take
Anybody
so
that
long.
feels like it's easy should do it.
Exactly. It didn't take so long. This same person reached out to us for a collaborative work that we should collaborate to do something together. In my head, I was like, is it the same group chat of women doing nothing in Web3 that you still want to collaborate with? But yeah, I think basically, like everything you said is so true. If you really want to thrive in the space, if you really want to like do great things as a woman, or if you really want to be out there, like if you really want people to know what you can do, you just need to show them your work. You need to show them what you can. That's why we always say proof of work before anything else. So thank you so much, Precious, for that amazing response. So Carla, I am back to you, my boss. This question, yeah, it's really, really important because for the members of the BID, I believe all the women would definitely want to like they would definitely want to learn from this particular question, and that's why I did my best to make sure to like add it. So the question is like, how can women support each other to overcome the obstacles to collaboration in a male dominated world, or traditionally exclusionary spaces within the Web3 spaces? Because there are a lot of things, especially when it comes to like building projects, building products, or like I don't know, it doesn't have to be like building a product, but most times when they want to work together, like how can women now work to like support each other?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, first I'd like to apologize for the darkness. My young men, they are out, so there's nobody to turn on the gen for me. I have to wait till they come back. I think they went to play football or something. So for collaboration, I think the first thing I would say is honesty. That's the first thing. As ladies, find out, be honest with yourself. Okay, so what do I want to do? What can't I do to reach that goal? So you listen to Josiah's story is very, very, very inspiring, because it seems like every woman has resonated with that. Recently, I think I won. There's this arbitrum thing that's going on, and I won twice in a row. And there's some people who were angry. They said, that probably because I was a council member, that's why I won. And they're like, oh, it's disrespectful. Arbitrum is disrespecting people and all, disrespecting them. And I said the greatest disrespect is that you didn't think I won by merit. You thought I won by sentiment. You thought maybe because I was in the same council, so people looked at my proposal and they voted for me twice in a row, and my project won. You thought that it was because of sentiment. You didn't think that it was by merits, because I'd put a project up before and didn't win in that first part. But these two, they fit the theme, and the gap was like 1,000 points to the second person. And it's the same kind of issues that some other ladies face. So sometimes collaboration it might not be about, oh, building something. It might be about, at this moment I don't know so much at this moment, but I need to know this thing. So who can I collaborate with on this? And be honest with them. Please, I need your help. Everybody needs help at every point in time. Everybody. I mean, if you look at the Web3 ecosystem, it is 90% open source. There are more open source projects, more open source communities than there are closed ones. The DeFi that everybody's enjoying today is largely open source. You go check out what it is, check the maths, duplicate, copy, and paste. All you need to do is have the liquidity and stuff. It's largely open source. So at every point in time, people need help. Even this OTC that we do today, amongst ourselves, you'll be surprised that exchanges do OTCs between themselves. Exchanges that have billions and millions of liquidity, they still do OTC between themselves. There are some that need to off ramp, on ramp certain tokens at home, and they meet themselves. You see them as competitors, but they're collaborating. Backdoor, they're making collaborations. I mean, if you follow the FTX story, You'd see when CZ said something about he was thinking that it was an OTC thing that they wanted to run. Okay, no, not FTX, Terra Luna's story. So this collaboration exists in every level, in every facet, in the $1 billion facet, in the $1 million facet, in the thousands, even in the hundreds. So identify which area that you need collaboration with, and then be honest with yourself. Tell yourself, okay, so this is what I need help with, and be honest with the person that you need the help from. Sometimes you might find people who might not, probably at that time there's no time for them to do those stuff. If it means you going ahead to pay for that time, if you have the funds, do pay for it. The next one is opportunities. Taking advantage of opportunities. The Web3 space is one of the space where they love opportunities. It's you now have to now choose which one would I be a part of. There are times when I am not a dev, right? I have attended dev sessions, just free dev sessions, just so that I can be able to speak with the person who was organizing it and say, "Oh, this is what I do. Please, I need your help on this." It might not be a straightforward thing like, "Oh, you meet this person and talk to this person." It could be joining a community and being active. That's collaboration. Community building is something that's it's very draining. It's very draining. I'm telling you guys, it's very
I'm happy
draining.
you are saying it. I'm so they would hear. Like it's not easy.
Oh my god. You think it's easy to gather people and say, respond and all that stuff. It's very draining. So even when you are contributing to a community that somebody is building and showing up and providing some sort of value, that's collaboration that you're doing. And it's something that it can help you with the next level of collaboration that you need. So imagine you've collaborated with a certain community to do something, you've been active, you get access to certain information. You take Sarah for example. She talked about how she wanted to start something, and people she had worked with in the past were ready to say, "Okay, if it's you, I'm going to work work with you," because she had collaborated in the past. So first, like, actually be honest, and then look for opportunities for this collaboration when they come, because they always come. This space is that's one of the things I like about Web3. Something is always happening somewhere. Something is always happening somewhere. So find that thing, and like the Nigerians will say, shook head. Like, I want this thing. I'm honest with myself. I want this thing. So there's this opportunity. I'm going to put myself inside and learn it. I think I did that first before I even started building. And one of the blockchains I did that with was Algorand. I entered everywhere. I want to learn this tech because I wanted to learn about blockchain from developer standpoint and from builder standpoint, not from user standpoint. I entered. My mind was, even if they don't pay me, I'm still going to do all these things. And it's sort of really contributed to where I am today. So honesty and taking advantage of opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carla, for that, for those two wonderful points. The first is the honesty for collaboration. You should be honest when, like, you should know when you need to collaborate with someone and be honest with yourself that yes, you need to do it because you can't do it alone. And the next is to also take advantage of opportunities. So, ladies, I hope we've heard, like, if you know there is anything you're building and you probably do not have the capacity, but you know someone else in the space, another lady in the space, you should not lie to yourself. You should not try to be proud or arrogant and think that you can actually do it all. You should reach out to other people that you know that they can actually collaborate with you, or rather that you can collaborate with. There's no harm in trying. The worst thing that you can get, or the worst response you can get from these people, is no. You should learn to take opportunities like when they come. I think like relating to what she said regarding attending one developer, I've done that before, honestly. I think last year I was able to connect with the person in charge of Amazon, sorry, yes, Amazon, that's AWS Cloud, I think here in Nigeria, because there was actually an event I went for last year in Ghana and he was also present. So his session was basically developer focused. But because I needed to have him in my network, I actually joined the session and used what I actually learned from the session to connect with him at the end of that event. So, ladies, like, you shouldn't just sit and wait to say, oh, only when the person comes to you or something before you can now know you can, like, you want to reach out to them to tell them your problems. There is nothing wrong with you laying the foundation from the beginning. Try to connect with these people from the beginning, and as time goes by, you see that, like, it would actually do you so many good or so much good. Thank you so much once again, Carla, for that amazing response. I think right about now, my next question, like, we're really, really late because this session was supposed to end by 7 p.m. so the next session can come in. So we'll try to like make things a little bit faster. So Debbie, I'd like to know from you, yeah, what strategies do you employ to identify potential collaborators and to build meaningful partnerships within the space? Because it is one thing to like know you need to collaborate with people, but at the same time you don't want to like go and reach out to someone that at the end of the day you start regretting. I know I said the worst thing you can get is a no, but then again, it's still not everybody that you should collaborate with. I believe, I don't know if that's true, but I would like to know from you, like, I would like to pick your brain on this, like, how do you know the right people to collaborate with to be able to like build something in the space or to do anything in the space? I can't hear you, Debbie, in case you're speaking. Sorry, can anyone hear Debbie? I don't know if it's just me. Oh, she's not on the stage. Oh my Jesus. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
When it
But can you
took
hear
you
me
out.
now?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. So my strategy is simple. I work based on shared values. Um what that means is that when I'm reaching out for a potential collaboration, I don't make it about me. It's always important to always align with the other person's objectives. So take for instance, I need Carla of Crypto Smart on a project or something or an event. I won't just go to Carla to say, oh, I need this from you. I won't put my needs in her face. I need to first look into Carla, understand her business, what does she need, and how can my collaboration add value to that. That way it's easy for her to say yes to me, right? Because I'm also offering value in a way. Because at the end of the day, partnerships have to be mutually beneficial, where all partners stand to gain something tangible. So for me, I just try my best to put my partner into consideration as well. And trust me, that model works. It works. Thanks, Sarah.
Perfect. I love that. That's like simple and straight to the point. What Debbie is trying to tell us, I don't know, for those, I'm just reiterating what she said, is that before you reach out to someone to collaborate, you have to make sure that you have the same value or the same goals. So, like, that's why she says shared value. You should think of ways that whatever idea or whatever opportunity you're about to present to that person, that the person, like, his or herself can also benefit from it. So it's not going to be just you at the receiving end, but also that person. So thank you so much, Debbie, for that amazing response. So my next question is actually to Carla and Debbie, but I want Carla to go first. Like, what impact have collaborative efforts had on your project, like, and everything that you're building, as well as on the broader Web3 ecosystem? Carla, I
Okay,
would want
thank
to.
you.
Yeah.
Okay, so the impact has been massive. I'll use Borderless as an example. When we first started Borderless, we started with it was just me and my CTO. Even before we started, I was always telling him that you have to teach other people because he's always like to be a loner, and I'm like, we cannot do that loner thing here. This is Web3. Even if you don't want to be a Web3 developer, but you're gonna have students who want to get into this space. And I mean, the company you're working in is literally crypto smart, so you have to pick up that collaborative nature. And it might not just be about you getting from somebody; it also might be about you giving to other people. So for like 3 months, he was off and on, and then he now said, "Okay, fine. I think I'm ready. Let's teach others." You know, and it was just me and him at first, and a laptop. As at the time we were even starting, we didn't even have. We had not had a hub. Right now, a lot of you are seeing our hub everywhere where we have classes and all. We had not had a physical hub. We didn't even have really cool laptops. Remember the laptop they had was a terrible one. We're all just managing it and all that, and building with what we had. And because he agreed, the both of us came together and started Borderless. And we got support, we got grants, we were able to set up a hub. So as the hub became set up, we now needed more collaboration. We needed more people who would be able to handle certain things. And it sort of like expanded beyond now just the both of us to needing an admin person to work with, to need a head of tech person to handle physical tech activities and all. And then we now needed more tutors to begin to work with in the space, because we thought we're not only going to teach, Web3, we're also going to teach general tech courses, product design, and all that stuff. And from there, we had our event and started a volunteer community. And from the volunteer community has come out people who have been able to take their careers from one level to another. From the volunteer community, the people who didn't know anything about blockchain or crypto, and today they're making money in crypto. I'm seeing their activities. They're then journey, they're making money. Some are actually actively trading and all. That's all of this stemmed from the collaboration of two people who said, okay, fine, let's use what we have. And that's the first thing about collaboration. It's start with what you have at first. I keep telling people, but I started with just a laptop. And now we have a chain of network in about 8 universities. We've done different events. We've raised developers, people who came in not knowing anything at all about tech. When students, school, all they knew was, I want to get into this, and they found a place that they could, get some expression. That came from collaboration of two persons saying, we'll start with what we have, a domain name, a laptop. And our first session was literally virtual. There was no place for anybody to come and meet and stuff. So the impact it's had it has gone beyond me as a person. It's gone beyond the brand of my company. It's gone into impacting other people's lives. So it's been great. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much, Carla. I think your story is actually really, really a good one that shows the effect of collaboration. And I think the biggest point from everything she said was start with what you have. You should start from somewhere. Like, you shouldn't think that you must have everything first before you can now kick off. So thank you so much, Carla. Debbie, quickly.
Yeah, thanks, Carla, for that contribution. And so, just to also continue from there, I will answer my question. I'll answer this question telling a story. In 2022, we faced a very, very huge challenge at AFEN due to the whole BlockFi situation. I mean, a few people were around and knew what happened. And it resulted into a major issue for us where we lost, pretty much all our treasury funds. It was a dark period for me. I remember I had to return home from Malta where I was supposed to do my master's degree in blockchain and distributed ledger. But fast forward, this experience taught me resilience and also taught me the importance of collaboration, because despite the fact that we had financial setback, um, we continue to collaborate. Personally, I continue to support others in the industry. I remain committed to building and contributing to the ecosystem. If you notice, last year, I traveled a lot. I was in Hong Kong, I was in Morocco, I was in Dubai. I met Precious in Dubai last year. It was beautiful. I traveled a lot last year in the middle of my brokenness, right? It was even interesting that people assumed that I had some funds stashed somewhere. But let me bust your bubble. I didn't spend a dime on any of those trips. All of those trips were based on recommendations, were all expense paid trips. So what am I trying to say? I don't think I would have had those opportunities if I am not adding value one way or the other, if I have not supported people, if I'm not doing something right. And so I feel personally, right, collaboration has really, really been a driving force for me. I mean, to a personal level. And yeah, so I hope you get my point. Let me drop my mic here. I know that we were pressed for time, but thanks for that question, Sarah.
Great. Thank you so much, Debbie. Thank you so much, Carla, for the amazing contributions on that question. I have written down, I think if I show you ladies my journal now for like since we started this session. Like everything I've learned from speakers. It's been wonderful. So we'll be rounding the session with just one question that all of the speakers are going to respond to, starting with Precious, then Carla, before Debbie. So the question is what steps, or rather, can you share with some tips or best practices for women looking to expand their network and also connect with other professionals in the space? This question is because of the newbies that we have on this session, those that are still trying to find their ground, those that are looking to connect with other amazing women like you. So steps and best practices that they should actually pick up on. Precious, you first. Oh, uh, okay. Precious, sorry, you're back on
Yes.
stage. Okay,
Okay, can you
perfect.
hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, best practices. So the first thing I think I'll talk about is to you said to collaborate, right?
Yes, like for women that are looking to connect with other women or other people in the space to possibly collaborate with them, basically, like other professionals, how they can connect with professionals in the space.
Okay, I think the first thing is events. So, okay, let's use maybe some people don't like in Nigeria now. I can count the number of events I've gone for in Nigeria. So, the first thing is I think Twitter spaces at the tip of our fingers. So, there are
Yeah.
so many spaces going on, like say Women in DeFi. I know that you guys have some spaces that you guys do weekly and all of that. Apart from even Women in DeFi, there are other spaces that is done every single time in the crypto space. So joining these spaces and giving your contribution actually matters.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think some of the people that I've actually met, or most of everybody that I've actually collaborated, I've spoken to or have network with, all of them I met them in Twitter space. Then before I met them physically, and it's
So,
because of value. So the first thing you have to have is value. What are you adding? Nobody wants to have somebody that is just bugging them, or you don't have anything you're offering and you're trying to disturb somebody. So what value are you coming to give? So when I was starting, the first thing I did was I what did they call this? I gave out my skill for free, more like a trial. And I was like, okay, I have a skill. Can you I can do like a trial. So if I do like a trial and you're good, you can recommend me to people.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm going home now, so there's noise. So I can recommend you to people. So like that because of the skill I have. So that's why I said value is the most important thing. Sorry, excuse me. So that's why I said
Uh,
value is the most important thing. Can you hear me, Tira?
yes, I can.
Okay, sorry, there's noise. So the first thing you should have is value. Then when you have value and you go for Twitter spaces and you actually contribute to these people, you can connect with them. So why did not say events? Because not everybody can have access to events. Probably because if I went to Dubai every single day, there's always an event in Dubai. But now Twitter Space is your best bet, right? Now and also giving your value for free. That way you can collaborate and somebody can connect you to another for you to be able to do what you have. So I'm trying to keep it short because of time. So yes.
Thank you so much, Precious, for that amazing contribution. She said we should have value and be able to contribute when we attend sessions like this one, as well as when we attend physical events. Thank you so much, Precious. Carla, you're next.
Can you hear me? Okay,
Yes, yes.
thank you. Okay, thanks. So I think what anybody should take from this is um, people collaborate for goals. Like what Debbie said, if you want to collaborate with somebody, just don't go there with what you want to get. For example, um, when I'm employing anybody, I always ask them what their goal is. Always, if I'm employing any developer that's ever worked with me or anybody that I've ever interviewed, they will tell you, I'm going to ask you what are your goals because I want to be sure that my company aligns with your goals, because I understand that it's usually beyond money. Even people say, it's the money and all that stuff, but in a way, it's usually beyond money, because you really can never pay anybody enough. Jobs don't really, you can't really pay anybody enough to be with you. So it's beyond the money thing. So I always ask, what's your goal? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Before the end of last year, I had a meeting with my devs and I was asking them questions. So what's your goal for 2024? So that when we are giving you tasks or stuff, I can remind you and let you know that this thing you're doing is not just for me. This thing is also going to help your goals. So if I can do that to people that I'm actually even still going to pay at the end of the day, that I'm still going to provide opportunities to, how about somebody who I'm looking up to, that I might not even be able, they might not be able to get anything so much from me. So I have to go with the, okay, what's the thing? What's your goal? Can we align? I know that I need help for this thing, but I also want to do it in such a way that I'm not the person who's just taking. I'm also able to give back to you. So approach your collaborative goals like that with the people that you want to be with. A lot of times I've tried it. 90% you would get responses. 90%. If you're gonna get a no, it will be a no out of respect. It will be a no out of, oh, I wish I could work with you, but this is what I am in at the moment, because any person of value would recognize that and would value it. So make sure that you're not just wanting to collaborate with somebody as a taker. There's something that you should give back. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Carla, for that amazing point. Debbie.
Yeah. Um, to I don't know if it was Color or Precious. First, I would say define your goals, your objectives, because if you don't, you would get lost. It's important to be clear on what you want out of this entire thing. To build relationships, and don't just build relationships. Make sure you're adding value. Remember, what goes around comes around, be it good or bad. Three, seek out mentors and advisors who can provide you guidance and support. That's very, very important. It's a cheat code that works. And most importantly, be proactive. Don't wait for opportunities to come to you. Most times the opportunities are there. You just need to go for it. You just need to grab them. Position yourself, be known for something. You can build and build and still remain the best kept secret if you don't position yourself. Precious talked about something. um Precious talked about something that you need to show results, because trust me, people will look for you when they know that you can deliver. Thanks, Sarah.
Great. Thank you so much, Debbie, for that amazing contribution. A very big thank you to all our speakers, the amazing ladies who were with us for this session. Thanks to this session, I've learned a lot, and I believe that all like our listeners, those our viewers rather, they've also been able to like learn a lot from this session. Um, Particularly for this last part, where the points or the tips that you ladies shared with us, that's like attending events and also contributing to virtual spaces like Twitter spaces and even Zoom calls and whatnot, because that's where people get to know you and you'll know like what you can do. The next is approach your prospects with aligned goals. Like they know the person's goals so that when you want to collaborate with them, you know that they are not just working for you, or they are not just going to be like contributing to whatever it is you want to do, but you're also contributing to their goals, like whatever it is that they want to do. And thank you so much, Debbie, for like the icing on the cake by saying that we should, of course, add value. We should seek out mentors and advisors. We should be proactive, because the opportunities will not just fly to your legs. Like you have to be prepared, and you'll be so shocked to find out that the opportunity has just been there, like waiting for you to come and grab it by yourself. So thank you so much, ladies, for this great session. It was a really good 1 hour listening to you. Due to network, we couldn't start in time. So I really appreciate everything you ladies have said. Thank you so much. I think at this point I'll be bringing Carla down from the stage. Perfect. So, I'm sure we all had a great time listening to ladies for the first session. So we were supposed to have a brief break, but due to time, we have to like go into the second session immediately. So for this session, we're going to be having three amazing women who are going to like be educating us on something wonderful. Where, like I said, the theme for this is looking through the lenses. That's like fostering inclusivity in blockchain. Our first session, we talked about women who are actually building structures, who are also like at the forefront of leadership in the blockchain space, in the Web3 space, and are also doing their best to bring more women. Now, for this session, we are going to be looking into women who are already driving changes in Web3, women who are also like building other women actively through community work or like through collaboration still. So, without much ado, I'm going to be introducing our very, very first panelist. This is a lady that also inspires me on a daily. And when she came to Lagos, I think last year for an event, she dragged me on stage simply because we don't have enough female blockchain developers in Nigeria. She is a blockchain business consultant who utilizes her knowledge and expertise in blockchain and cryptocurrencies to promote education, or rather to promote adoption through education and community growth strategies. In addition to her consulting work, she's the founder of the Kenya Blockchain Ladies DAO and the co-founder at Kushite East Africa Hub. With an extensive background in finance and cryptocurrencies, she is a sought after speaker as well as a thought leader in the industry. Y'all, I bring to you Yvonne Kagondo, my boss. Hi, Yvonne.
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you. We're happy to have you here today.
Thank you for having me.
Great. Thank you
And
so much. So,
congratulations on the anniversary.
thank you. Thank you so, so much. Thank you so much, Yvonne. Yes. So we're going to be introducing our next speaker. Now, this is a lady that I I met her through me because I jumped from one community to the other. And I saw this community, Women Building Africa, and I was really intrigued. I joined the community. And she's actually one of the co-founders of that community. And since then, like I've been following her up on her socials. I've always like, okay, what is she up to? Like I want to know what she's doing next. She's a fintech and Web3 expert with an interest in where both of them intersect in the context of global in the in the global area. She has spent the last few years building and scaling global fintechs and now serves as the first crypto hire at Africa's largest payment gateway. Wow. Honor Freak, formerly known as MFS Africa, leveraging crypto to unlock the next generation of Africa's growth. Y'all, I bring to you the amazing Guerra Kiwana. Hi, Guerra.
Hi, Sarah. What a lovely introduction. I really appreciate that. Also, hi everyone. Nice to see you again. Thanks for the East African representation.
Yay. Great to have you here, Guerra.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good to be here.
Great. So let's bring up our last speaker. She is the founder and CEO of ValueCorp Global, a human capital development for Web3 job readiness skills. Her work experience cuts across several digital skills, including content writing, SMM, marketing, ghostwriting, wow, audio transcription. She enjoys simplifying and reducing the knowledge barriers to entry into blockchain jobs and career opportunities. With a value first motto, she is ready to supercharge and position you for global financial opportunities. Ladies, I'm sure you really want to learn from this one because she's here to put us at the forefront of global opportunities in the Web3 space. Y'all, I bring to you Victoria Okoroji, sorry. Hi, Vic.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. Hi, everyone. Happy to be here. Happy anniversary once again.
Thank
Can
you.
any?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. So, I'm so sorry, ladies, because your session was supposed to begin like 22 minutes ago, but due to like the first session like almost all our speakers were having internet issues, and even me at a point my internet went off, so it caused a lot of delay. So I'll try my best to make sure that this session is fast, because I know Guerra, she has been on transit and she quickly joined us. Like, I really really appreciate you being here today. So this session is going to be fast, I promise you all. So quickly, I know I've already introduced each of us, but I would still want us to like tell us like what we do in the space, so they can hear it from you directly. It's best if you actually introduce yourself. It would be best. And in addition to that, tell us what inspired you to join the blockchain space and what motivates you to still be here. So we'll start with Guerra, then Yvonne, then Vic. Thank you.
Yeah. So first of all, Sarah, congrats on the 2 years. I think this is the first kind of community of its kind.
Thank you.
And yeah, I remember when I met you as well. I was like, this person, there's not many, people building really communities like this in our space, especially in Africa. So, congrats, and you do a lot to include. Obviously, I'm an East African, but a lot of the noise we hear in the space is coming out of one specific region. So it's great that you have the reach that cuts across, our entire community. So so I basically now, my background has mostly been in financial services, fintech, banking, and payments. And throughout that whole time, sorry, I lost my voice recently, so still recovering. But yeah, throughout that time, my career, like, have been pursuing payments, fintech, banking in general. Crypto has kind of been a thread throughout all of that, and that was, since the first time I ever encountered cryptocurrency, which was Bitcoin. So receiving Bitcoin, not well, receiving some Bitcoin many many years ago. No, I don't have that anymore, but I ended up using it to bootstrap my own venture. And since then, kind of started off by following the price, basically following the charts and seeing people around me, experiencing incredible life-changing experiences. But for me, I couldn't take it. I spiritually, emotionally could not handle the ups and downs. So I tended to focus and skew my energy a little bit more into the utility, and this really only happened when during, like, I'd say, DeFi summer, which was 2021. So we were all in the pandemic. And that's when I started to dabble and get quite interested in DeFi, and especially the utility use cases for crypto. And this was also, I was lucky enough to be in a right place, right time situation. So at that time, I was in a consulting at a consultancy, in the consulting role, and I was a product manager on a consulting team. And a lot of our clients, as a traditional financial services consultant, we would work with banks, payment providers, think of Stripe, Barclays, Citibank, various regulators. And during DeFi summer, obviously, I got very into the space. And, one of my team members, he also got very into the space. And we basically were given some USDC to just tinker around and play around. And I got into Axie Infinity. I got into the various DAOs. I was very involved. I was very excited about ENS when ENS came out, and that was kind of the groundwork for like me thinking about the utility of tokens, but also of DAOs, blockchain, and in that, while I was in the consulting role, we started to get a lot of interest from traditional financial services companies who or entities who were interested in understanding crypto, interested in understanding Web3. So while I was at the consultancy, we built out the Web3 consulting advisory arm. So that where we just exclusively focused on advising and building for our clients. So this ranged from, like, some of the companies I mentioned. We basically built out their strategy to launch their first crypto product. We basically got engaged in various regulatory conversations with, like, the South African Reserve Bank, which is the Central Bank of South Africa, for Project Coca, which has informed a lot of the regulation that's come out of that, including the CBDC draft. And this led me to where I am now at OnaFreak, where I decided to kind of step away from a global scope, which was interesting and exciting, yes, but I didn't really find much interest in, or really, it wasn't passion driven to do stuff for hedge funds that wanted to incorporate tokenization. So instead, I decided to kind of focus my energy and focus on Africa, which is where I'm from. I'm from Uganda. And Onafrique presented a unique opportunity to do this at a traditional payments company, which still has a lot to gain from adopting cryptocurrencies. A company that we do cross-border, we do remittances, we do intra-Africa payments. We support companies in doing that. So we've started to slowly incorporate Web3 and blockchain and crypto in general in our business in very subtle ways. So not very explicit. Not I've left behind my degen life of chasing tokens and joining DAOs. I'm still part of a few DAOs, but now we're looking. I focus mostly right now on strategic partnerships, which is again my background is focusing on strategic partnerships. So yeah, that's a bit about me.
Great. Thank you so much, Guer. Safe to say that that's not a bit about you because you literally gave us like everything. You gave us the tea. And thank you so much for that amazing introduction. I can see that you've done a lot in the space and you're still doing a lot. And we look forward to every other thing that you'll be doing. Yvonne, sorry, you're next.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm Yvonne Kagondo. I'm the co-founder of Kushite ICP. Hub East Africa. And what we basically do is that we evangelize, we educate, we incubate, and launch products on blockchain, Web3, and the Internet Computer Protocol. I'm also the founder of Kenya Blockchain Ladies DAO, which is a social DAO that works to increase the activity, um, the involvement of Kenyan women in blockchain and cryptocurrency. And actually, we've actually done a lot. And Kenya was recently recognized as the country in Africa that has the highest female participation in the space. And we are happy to be a community that has championed that. And how I got into the space was I got in right after uni. I was studied financial economics in uni. Then I was always curious to know what was the future of financial economics, and then I went to coding school, and blockchain kind of fits because we were learning, like, it talked about things like derivative markets, talked about stocks, talked about economies that, like, we learned in school about central banks, and then in blockchain you learn about why decentralization is actually better, or you learn about capitalism, and then you learn why capitalism is good or bad. And blockchain kind of fit the shoe, and I just joined in, and I've been seeking careers in it all through, because I couldn't start with most people who join the space normally start as investors or degens, as Guerra said, but I couldn't, because at that time, in Africa, I'm sure most of us have experienced this, that in Africa, after school, I don't know if you guys experience it in West Africa, but in East Africa, it's like after school, we know that you're going to spend 3, 4, 5, 6 years. I had Tanzanians also saying that you just stay at home doing nothing because of high unemployment rates. And, like, I just, it happens, yeah. So, but I couldn't afford that at that time, because I was a mother at that time, and I needed to, like, I needed to work and provide. So I got into blockchain as an opportunity, and online network was the gist at that time, and I wanted it so badly. It was do or die to develop a career into blockchain. And I started, like, doing jobs. I started as a community manager for an exchange. It was called Kubitex Exchange. It was a West African exchange. Of course, these companies come and go. Then I grew. Went to Paxful as a country manager. I did small telegram jobs here and there. Then finally, I noticed that there was a gap. I noticed that there was a gap with women involvement in Kenya, because most people who are in the space were either developers or traders, and developers or traders are usually male dominated fields. But not many people knew that in blockchain you need community managers, you need social media managers, you need You need designers, you need all these jobs have popped up from the ecosystem, and they have so many opportunities. And I believed that Kenyan women could try them out because we didn't have to suffer with unemployment. So I put it specifically for Kenyan women because there's like, if we join like for example, a Nigerian community, you might find that a Kenyan woman would be shy or they might not relate. So I put it focused on Kenyan women so that they can feel safe, so that they can speak in their local dialect, so that they can see another Kenyan woman doing it. Sometimes you see something and you say, that's that's this. Sometimes you see like West Africans are so aggressive, and we just assume that's theirs. We can't do it, but but then when you put it specifically, like even in Kenya, sometimes we segregate it even further into like local communities, like local regions. So like I put it safely as Kenyan women, so they see another Kenyan woman doing it and know that they too can become a community manager, can become a developer, can become a founder or anything they want to be because they see someone relatable doing it. So I put it, we created a small safe space of a group, and I just became a founder of it. And from that experience, I got so much limelight because we're able to do so much. When you bring women together, like even our mothers, when you see our mothers, like how they would come together in like small community groups, raise money, bring like you'd see mothers in our estate, we see mothers going to church, contributing money, and money they don't even work, they get money from their husbands, and they like buy land together, they build a school, they can do so much. When women come together, somehow we're able to achieve so much. So when we brought this community together, we saw a lot of them getting jobs. We saw a lot of them participating. We saw a lot of them trading. We saw others even forming their own women groups, and we saw a lot blooming from just having a community showing women that yes, they can. And from that, I got so much experience. We were even able to like get international recognition, and then somehow it reached external people, and I got invited to be a co-founder at ICP. And it wouldn't have happened if I hadn't formed that community of women. So yeah, that's my story. Yeah.
I think I want
That's
to add to Yvonne. Yvonne, you're short selling yourself. Yvonne has done quite a lot in like to
yeah,
drive not only just women in blockchain in Kenya, but also just the blockchain ecosystem. I think your name, Yvonne,
yes,
always comes up. And even you
yeah,
led the visit of Vitalik last year, when Vitalik came to Kenya. So you've
yeah,
been. Let me also hype you a bit. You've definitely done quite a bit in the in the East African African ecosystem, outside of
Thank
just the
you.
gender side. So congrats.
Thank you
yes.
so much, Clara.
Yes, and I work. The thing about what Yvonne is saying is that it's not just recognizable in East Africa, even outside of East Africa. Cause when I just got into the space, Yvonne is literally like she was one of the first women I knew back then, and I think blockchain DAO ladies, they were like one of the first female communities, if not the. I think they're actually the first female community in blockchain space that I connected with them back then on Twitter, and I was just following up with their activities, and I was also learning at the sideline from them. And I also got my inspiration from them to like create like Women in DeFi. I don't know, I don't think I've ever said this to Yvonne before, but yeah, I'm saying it now. You were actually one of those I picked inspiration from back then to like go on and create Women in DeFi back here in Nigeria. But right now, like we're not just waiting for just Nigeria, but also outside of Nigeria. So thank you so much, Yvonne, for inspiring each and every one of us. I really, 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 really love what you're doing. Thank you so much. So
Thank
Victoria,
you.
we'd love to hear from you.
Okay. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for this opportunity to talk with these two amazing ladies. I've just been inspired. Okay, so for me, founder of Valicop Global, and I started Valicop Global at first just as a normal Web2 community focused on upskilling people because after I left school, I was a medical physiologist. I graduated as a medical physiologist, and I just didn't see myself doing anything in that line. I just decided to like leave the whole medicine thing, the whole medical line entirely. So, and I realized that there were lots of opportunities online, and many people were not seeing it. I mean, people around me, they were not seeing it, and So I decided to start a community where I will show people that they can learn a skill or two and they can leverage it to access opportunities online. So from there, this was around like this was 2017, 2018. But before that, 2016, my younger brother came in contact with the whole Bitcoin, blockchain, crypto space, and he was telling me about it. And it was at the peak of the MMM, yeah, the Ponzi scheme era. And can anybody hear me? My network has been very somehow. Hope you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yes. So thank you. So it
I
was
can
at the
hear
peak of
you.
the MM. Okay. It was at the peak of the MMM period, and so I thought it was like, oh yeah, there goes another Ponzi scheme. So I didn't pay attention that period until 2017 when there was this Luno advert was always in my face. The Luno app advert was always in my face, and I was like, "What's this one again?" Until 2018, when a friend from school, he was so shocked that I wasn't in this space already, in the industry already, and I was like, "I just don't understand what's going on there." So he added me to his community. I started joining live sessions and all of that, and he gave me lots of videos to watch, lots of books to read, and it started making sense. Which is why I'm always of the opinion that if you come into this space as a newbie, the first thing you should do is to get yourself educated instead of like jumping into one trading or the other and all of that. So, um, so I was one of those people who started trading first, but I had a lot of high BP that period because it felt like every time I enter a trade, it was just everything was just like you're just holding your heart so that maybe you don't lose money or when you make profits and all of that. Hope you guys can see me. Everybody seems frozen. Okay. This network has been very interesting. Okay, so it was after then that um I saw okay, I got my first opportunity. So that same friend referred me for a social media management opportunity, and that was when it dawned on me that you can do a whole lot more in this space than trading because trading felt like a high risk thing for any newbie. And I started talking to people around me. 'Cause I had lots of novices around me, like so many of them. The first impression they always give me is like, oh, that's that place that you go to and you use your money, or Ponzi scheme and all of that. And I was so shocked that I felt like, oh, there were many people who knew that it's a tech that's beyond what they are thinking about. So I started educating people around me from my church to my friends around, and when I just give them the simple explanation, and they were so shocked. So that was how I integrated that part to my community because then I'd already started Palicop, but it wasn't Web3 focus at first. So I started teaching them, and that was how I had my first set of let's say first set of people who got their first job readiness training, and they came. It's just people that moved from complete newbies to being grounded in the space, even till today. And so that was how I came in, and that was how I started that aspect of Valley Cup. And now we're just being completely focused because right now I'm in love with this value that's in the space, and I'm always very, very excited to share with anybody that wants to care to listen that you can, there's a lot you can do. Just like Yvonne mentioned about, at first, there were very, very few women in this space, very few women. It felt like a male dominated space at the time. But and then many persons were always like focused on the tech area. So but when I found like you can do so much more. You can write, you can design and stuff. So I started encouraging people around. So that was why at first we didn't do anything tech. We just focused on the non-tech area, non-tech skills, and we were both trying to encourage people that these ones have very short learning curves because for it to be a dev is a longer learning curve, and newbies is like they're not interested unless you really, really love to code and all of those things. So yeah, that's our story. And then fast forward to today to here we are now. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Victoria. And I must say, I am really inspired by the stories of the three wonderful women we have here today. Like each of you, your experiences and what brought you into the space and things you've seen in the space. Trust me, like these are things that personally, like, I can also relate to, and I must say that you've all done so well. Like, it's one thing to come to the space, it's another thing to come with a mindset to also empower others, to also contribute to the lives of others, to also like encourage others to also be a part of the space. So, and that is why we're actually having this session. Like, I specifically picked the speakers for this session because these are women that I know that they are not just in the space, but they are also like bringing other people into it. And that is why the topic for this session is voices of impact, the women driving changes in Web3. So we want to hear from your voices, like we want to hear from like your own experiences when like you're driving impact. And that brings me to my first question, which goes to Guerra. Like, as a woman, what challenges have you faced in the Web3 space and how have you been able to overcome them?
What shall I give you an alphabetical list or chronological challenges? There's so many.
Sorry, where
Um,
I think I don't know
oh,
where. Can you hear me?
can you hear me? Hear you?
Yes, your voice is, I don't know, it's, I don't know how to explain it, but
That's
it's,
maybe
can you say something? No,
the.
it's
How
kind of like
about now?
rusty or something.
What about now?
Sorry?
What about now?
Yeah, better.
What about now? Okay.
Better.
I said
Better.
I sorry, I've lost my voice this week, so I'm still recovering. I'm taking
So
a lot of
sorry.
that's okay. No, so what challenges I was saying, do you want a chronological list or alphabetic list? Because, it's a very long list. I mean, the challenges, starting by the gatekeeping. I think the overarching challenge is gatekeeping. And like, you know, I come from a finance background where like people tend to gatekeep that in general. Um, so things like, and one thing, so for example, that I've done to overcome that is like I know I'm intelligent. I know that I will not let anyone tell me that I'm not. First of all, that's like something that my mother instilled in me, my grandmother instilled in me. Um, I have brothers in my, a lot of men in my life who've also, encouraged me to be strong. So I will never, first of all, be told that I'm stupid or that I don't know anything, and I have been told that before. But I think one thing that I found was the gatekeeping, right? So like, and it's done in such weird ways, like people using big words or like jargon or really complex ideas that to keep you out. And one thing I've just done is just remain informed, like kind of read and understand and network and try and stay on top of knowledge. Uh, and then in turn also like do the same for others. So for anyone who's seen me speak at anything or even write my writing, even the podcast that I host, which is Crypto at Scale, we really focus on people not using big scary words. Like do not use concepts. If you can't explain a concept that is really complex, like a ZK roll up, if you can't explain that to me, then you shouldn't be telling me about it. Explain it in plain English. Like one thing, for example, that I used to get my team to do when I worked in banking. So I worked at a digital bank, and we would use words like funds, even the word funds. And I was like, that's not regular English. Like people don't say the word funds, say money. You know, the funds have arrived. Just say the money has arrived. Like it's just being as simple as possible to lower the bar for entry, so that people, because again, this is the crypto is something also that I think should be democratized. I think we should all be able to, no matter where you're from and what you do, like you should be able to, like, if you try, you should be able to understand and be allowed to benefit from that knowledge that you gain from the space. So I think gatekeeping is probably the biggest challenge I've faced. And how I've overcome that, like I said, is remaining informed, but also informing others as well.
Great. Thank you so much, Guerra, for that amazing one. I think I can actually relate with you in the aspect of gatekeeping because I think that is basically one of the things that we're facing currently in Nigeria. We are still facing it, even though we have a lot more communities right now and people are trying to make it seem like it's not as bad as it was. But I know at the time I started, like I got into the space, there are a lot of people that they don't want to teach you what they know. They don't want to tell you what they know. They would rather like keep it to themselves. Like even if you reach out to them, they'll give you several excuses, like and reasons why you shouldn't even want to be a part of the space, and you'll be forced to either like and things like this made a lot of people actually fall into the hands of scams. Because by the time you now go out to meet other people that you think that they are willing to teach you, you find then you realize that they don't really want to teach you, they are just out for your money. So the gatekeeping was actually a major problem that I also faced, but thankfully that is actually why we have women in DeFi right now, to help other women who are also coming into the space to say, yeah, you don't need to like, you don't need those people. You can just come here, you can come and learn from other women, and you can actually be better. So thank you so much for that, where. So my next question goes to Yvonne. So can you share a moment or project that you've been involved in where you felt particularly empowered to drive change within the Web3 ecosystem?
Okay, so I think it's like my internet is breaking. Please let me know if I'm breaking. But I think one of the projects, the first project I worked on, it was a bit inspirational. It was called Qubit X, and the founder was the current founder of the Aya community. I think Aya something,
Aya
Elkanan.
HQ. Aya HQ. That's Eric Anan.
Yes, Erican, and I remember he used to the project failed, but I remember his message was very clear. He used to tell us, um, Africa produces is the second largest adapter of cryptocurrencies. That was 5 years ago. That was 2018. It was like Africa is like we are leading in numbers. I remember when I worked at Paxful, Nigeria was controlling the whole world, like in terms of peer-to-peer trading. Remember when you guys had the End SARS movement, um, cryptocurrency markets like all were affected because a lot of Nigerians were not trading at that time, and they were like it affected the Kenyan market, it affected the Filipino market, it affected the Vietnam market, and I remember it used to like I saw a lot of impact from Africa, even Nigeria leading, then Kenya. Everything that would affect our markets was affecting the rest of the world. But I remember Eric Anan would say, Africa leads in all this, but why are we just consuming? Why are we the ones who are using products that are coming from abroad? When will we ever start building our own? And that was the message for Kubitex. It was like the exchange. It was let's build. Like we can't just be giving our money externally. When will we ever build? When will we ever support our own? Like if you call an African to come build a church, how many of us will turn up? But if we have a project like an exchange, someone, a developer coming to build something, we never support them. We just watch them fail, and then we make fun of them once they're done. And we start saying, I knew it. I knew they were going to fail. But it's always like we don't want our people to build. We don't want our people to succeed. We don't want to support our own projects. Even if we do our own projects, we never raise money in the country. We take we get money from abroad to build in Africa. Or we get developers from even the funny thing about Kubitex, I hope he doesn't get mad, was that we had outsourced the developers building the exchange from Africa. So even I think the issue also the guy from Patricia, he said exactly the same thing 2 years ago. We don't have good talent from Africa. We're not building enough from Africa. We're just consuming Web3 products and giving all the money to the rest of the world. So I think with Kushite ICP Hub, it really with all that message in mind, it really pushes me to train developers to and empower developers to the level that to the extent that the capacity that is availed to me. So far, we've trained a lot of developers in East Africa. We've been able to empower them. We've certified a number of blockchain developers. We've been trying to get them to build their own products and trying to also get them support. these small steps that we make may not really mean much right now, but from Eric's message 5 years ago, probably doesn't even remember saying it. It influenced me, and hopefully it will influence one of my students, and one of my students maybe will influence someone else, and maybe in the long run we'll have a product coming out of Africa that is used on a global scale, that is providing services to the rest of the world. So I think that's something that really pushes me with our hub, with the Kushite ICP hub in East Africa. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Yvonne. I really like what you said, especially the obvious problem that we have, which is the fact that Africans are consumers and not producers, where we just like get people like we tend to buy, we prefer to trade, we prefer to like utilize whatever it is that has been built. We're not actually being the builders, we're not actually the ones that are actually producing the infrastructures in the Web3 space. It's really wonderful to see what you're doing in the aspect of like with Kushite as well as with the DAO ladies to make sure to encourage more people to build in the African Web3 space. So thank you so much, Yvonne. Quickly, I'll go to Victoria. Like, since you're very much like you've been in leadership for a while now, like like you said, when Value Cup Global started, it was not all about Web3 before you now got into Web3. So I'd like to know from you, like, how do you define leadership now bringing it to Web3? And what qualities do you believe they are essential for effective leadership?
Okay. Thank you. So, from what I've seen so far, even from taking a leave from you. Okay. Let me start with you. Yeah, I've watched you build Women in DeFi from the very first time I met you at the Mara event, and so one major quality that characterizes like a good leader, especially in this Web3 space, is vision. Being able to, I watched you imbibe your vision into the people that worked with you, the team you formed, and they bought into the vision, and you were able to like build like an army. To say that's how I say, like an army of women. They were always like, they they could see what you're saying, and they were able to become part of it. So that's like one major characteristics, being able to communicate the vision that you have. I also remember when I started the whole Web3 part, most of the persons that I that came on board, that joined the community, then they had zilch knowledge, they had zero knowledge about all of these things. But somehow, because of the way that I broke it down to them, I was able. My first team in Valley Cup came from those people. They just wanted to be a part of what we were doing at the time. It's not as if there was no payment on the table, there was nothing. They just wanted to be a part of the whole idea, like, wow, this is amazing. Like, it moved them from thinking as traders to seeing that, oh, I have a skill that I can offer value somewhere and I can get paid for it. So being able to communicate that vision, being able to communicate your vision, and people can see that vision, buy into it, and become a part of what you're doing is one very major part of being a leader in this Web3 space. We've seen it. We've seen some projects like do really well because people were able to see what they. I mean, this is beyond the maybe people pursuing airdrop and stuff. I mean, um, people that have been able to like communicate. This value we're bringing, and people can see it and they can be a part of it and they can feel. I'm also seeing it like happen with this Solana Super Team. I've just been amazed about what they are doing with their talents and their community, and people are just they want to be a part of what they're doing because they can see themselves in the they can see where their skill can play a part. So leaders, that's a major quality for me, being able to include people. People can see themselves, inclusivity, see themselves in your vision and own that vision, like beyond you, even if you're not there. They can say this is exactly what you're trying to do, and they can literally carry it out, even if you're not there. So that is I answered the question in one piece. So that
Yes,
is what I think. Yeah. Thank you.
thanks. Thank you so much, Victoria. I think you did great justice to that question, like telling us that to be a leader, you should be able to communicate your vision to your followers. Sorry, can everyone hear me? Okay, at a point it felt like we all just stopped, but I
Yes.
think we're moving now. Okay, perfect. Yeah, like as a leader, you should be able to communicate your vision, you should be able to communicate your goals with your followers and get them to believe in it and even carry it on and not just like leaving you to do everything. So thank you so much, Victoria, for that amazing one. So my next question goes to like Victoria, sorry, Yvonne and Guerra. I would like to know from the both of you because I see what you're doing. I see Guerra on the aspect of women who build Africa, and for Yvonne, I see what you're doing for blockchain DAO ladies, Kenya blockchain DAO ladies. And I believe like not everyone here on this session actually knows like what you ladies are doing in that aspect. So I'd want you to like tell us like probably just briefly, not so much, like how you've been able to use your influence to advocate for change or to promote diversity within the Web3 ecosystem. Sorry, I would want Guara to go first and Yvonne.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So WWBA Women Who Build Africa. So the website is womenwhobuild.africa. If you're interested in joining, please go there. You can at the bottom of the page you can join the Slack and the newsletter. So really, I think let's go back to what I said earlier about gatekeeping. I was kind of frustrated by that, and my co-founder as well. So we just kind of created a community of incredible women, starting off with like a few people we knew to help each other, to kind of like share deals, share jobs, share advice, share mentorship. And it's expanded from there. Um, and I'll say that the crypto piece is not so strong right now, unfortunately, but I think our sister organization, Women, which started by Sarah, is doing really well. So I think one thing that we're doing is basically just like supporting each other. If you jump into that Slack, you'll see people are sharing jobs, people are sharing advice, people are raising their hand to mentor people, and that has just also started from like me and Thea, so my co-founder, like putting ourselves out there and telling people like, you know what, we're not going to move unless we actually get into it and start helping each other and using our various kinds of privilege to support each other. So yeah.
Great, thank you so much, Guara. Yvonne.
Well, it's still something similar to Guerra. It's just been encouraging women to keep it, to be frank with each other, to be open with each other, to give feedback, and also I also encourage our women to actively ask and don't do things for free. You actually make money from it and see that there are a lot of opportunities in Web3. One of the best ways we make money in the DAO, because we are not like really funded by anyone, is we do events, we do community events that grow the Web3 ecosystem. And this has put us as an industry leader, including the Vitalik event, because we try and keep it very standardized. We don't charge much, we just offer support. Like for example, in Safari, we offer volunteer work, but in the long run, we found that this means that women make money. So it's just small pennies like $20, $30, but you never know who might be needing that small, especially in Africa, that can last you for like a week or so. So just encourage for our community. We really encourage doing activities that, it's actually feels nice when you make your first dollar. Because if you make $1, you can make 100 more dollars. So we've just been really pushing each other to be proactive in making money and creating an income for women. Because if you empower women, you're not just empowering one woman, you're empowering a family, you're empowering, someone's. Normally, women don't just stay with money themselves. They feed someone, or they feed their kid, or they give their parents, they give, a brother or something. That's what we found with our community. Normally, they have responsibilities post themselves. So yeah, just pushing for income generating activities with our community has really been resourceful. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Yvonne. Um, because I know Guara would actually be leaving soon. So, like, my next question would basically be to her in particular. Like, Guara, could you please share with us like a mentorship experience that has significantly impacted your career or your personal development?
Um, I'll be brief and share briefly one. So there's a man actually, an individual who I encountered in my like previous life as a consultant. Sorry, I'm just going to turn off the video quickly. My internet's shaky. So a gentleman who is currently now the head of crypto at Visa. So I encountered him in the work environment, right? And I took a chance and kind of reached out to him and said, "Hey, I really admire your career. I really, I don't even know where to begin thinking about, because we both were aligned in the way that we work. We're both working for like large payment companies, traditional payment companies in a crypto sense. So I reached out and I said, shot my shot, and gave him all the reasons not to say no to me. I said, I'm not wasting your time because it's this will come back to benefit you if you help me. And
Yeah.
that was a few years ago, and now basically he's helped to open so many doors. He's championed for me in rooms that I'm not in, and even now, like, we're actually potentially working on some stuff together as well. So I think we always talk about women empowerment. I also like look seek out men in who are in positions of privilege, who are willing to support you. And I one thing I say, I always advise is never give someone a reason to say no. Like, if they're saying
Yeah.
no, if you've listed like all the reasons they should say yes, and they still say no, that's their loss. So that's kind of how that's my experience.
Okay. Still to you. I think this will be my last question to you before you finally drop off. Like, how do you like empower other women in the space? Because now you just spoke about how you got mentorship for a man, and since then, like, he has been able to open doors for you, and right now you guys are actually working on another project, like on a project together. Like, for you, what have you been doing on your own end to like empower other women, or rather how do you mentor them? That's one. Then secondly, like, why is it that mentorship is important for fostering growth and diversity?
So I'll start with the second one. It's important because like, unless there is diversity of thought, diversity of personality, diversity of identity in the room, like, nothing really interesting happens. So that's why I think it's important. Second, how am I doing it? I founded Women Who Build Africa, which is basically a way for me to supercharge that. So bringing other women on board, we've got lots of incredible women who are helping mentor. So we've got people from the investor space, people from startups, women who are founders as well, and operators supporting each other. And it's just like basically just like, for me, it was building community, but also engaging with community. So Sarah, I always engage with you. You always engage with me. I think that's something that like we should continue. And I really want to
Yeah, I think our network has final our internet has finally taken her out. Yvonne, can you see her? How is it just me?
She's
She's
crashed.
stuck.
Yeah,
She has been robbed. All
yeah,
right.
she's been moved.
Great. All right then. I think we'll just continue. Victoria, I would actually want you to like pick up from where we're at stuff, like still on that same question. Like, why is mentorship important for fostering growth and diversity, and how have you been empowering other women in this space?
sorry, it cut off there. Sorry.
Oh, she's back.
Yes. Sorry, I think the internet's acting up. But I think I left off at yeah, empowering others with the communities, building communities, engaging with other communities, and yeah, like welcoming people to engage. Join Women Who Build Africa. Like, again, it's free to join. I'm just one person, but there's so many other people, and I think that, like, yeah, I can't help everyone. I can't support everyone, but like, there's small ways that we can help each other, right? Like, there are people, women in my life who did what, like, for example, Yvonne mentioned, I think his name is Anan,
Yeah.
who said one thing that has like sparked so much inspiration and so much building since then. Like I think for us, anyone who's in a position where you've learned a lot and you have stuff to share, share. Always share. Obviously, we should ask to be paid for things, right? But then I think there's also a time and a place for just free and open sharing.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Guara.
Thank you.
We're more than happy to have you here. Like, thank you so much for coming up to share with us. This is me saying that you can actually you can drop off now and attend to other
Thank
matters.
you.
Thank you for coming to
Thank you.
share with us. Really appreciate it.
Always a
So
pleasure.
dropped the link of Women Who Build Africa on the comments. So for those ladies who would actually want to check out the community, feel free to do so. And trust me, you're going to be wowed when you see what the women there they are doing. Because I'm actually a member of that community and it's been really, really great. I've seen a lot of opportunities from the community too. So thank you so much, Gloria, for coming.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Great. Yes. So, Vic, you can actually continue. I would like to hear from you. Why is mentorship important for fostering growth and diversity, and how have you been empowering other women in this space?
Okay, so yeah, thank you. Mentorship is like super duper important. I was in the first session, and I had I don't know whether it was Precious, but one of the ladies, she said something about yeah, I think it was Precious, not talking about stuff ahead, not going through some stress where she can just easily learn from someone, right? So that's actually what mentorship does for you. It sort of removes the barriers, removes all the hurdles. There's no point going through all that hurdle when someone else have gone through all that hurdle, and then of course we're going to have our own experiences. Like everyone have their own unique experiences, but there are some things that some people personally don't have to go through because you've gone through them. So
Yeah.
and then sometimes your unique story helps other people come on board. I saw that with some ladies that came into the space because of me. Everything I was saying, everything that was happening around like the Pluto sphere wasn't making sense, but because they had someone that they could just easily ask, what is this in? Make it make sense to me, and they could easily get an answer. Just I was like within reach. So it's super important. It reduces all the barriers that's out there, normally that you have to face trying to learn on your own, trying to ask maybe random strangers and all of that. So mentorship creates a room where every lady out there can easily ask their questions, get the answers that they need, get the support that they need. And this is something that I've seen. Funny enough, like when I was doing it was just something I was just doing, without really calling it a mentorship per se. Just I had just lots of people around me who had lots of questions, and they were getting the assistance that they needed, and they were willing to apply all those things. It was the result for me, really. It was just the result that was showing forth in their lives that really gave me a lot of joy. So that's really what mentorship is for me, and I've applied it severally, and that's actually one of the ways that I was able to grow my first set of team members and my first set of community in the Web3 space. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Victoria. I specifically resonate with the part where you said there's no point for you to go through a problem that someone had already gone through when you can as well just learn from the person's experiences. That way, you can even make your own experiences, but then again, you don't really necessarily have to go through all of the hurdles that particular person has to go through by you just starting afresh from scratch. So thank you so much, Victoria, for that. So Yvonne, you've been quiet a lot, for a long time. So I'm back to you. Um, Seeing how you are in the community building aspect, like blockchain DAO ladies, there is Kushite, and I also know that at a point there were a couple of other communities that I've seen you hang around in Kenya. Like you've hung around with them. I can't recall one. There's one where you're also one of their governors. But yeah, I would like to know from you your approach to community building in the Web3 space, and why is it essential for driving change?
Okay. My approach is mostly just through mainstream marketing. I do it as simple. I learned this at Paxful. You just mainstream marketing, doing the Twitter sessions, doing um, promoting influencers. But most importantly, I've learned that it's important to work with a team. Like my strength may not be another person's strength. For example, I have a good community manager for Pushite. I have a community manager for KBLD. That's Ladies DAO. I have a social media manager. We have a marketer, and carrying the vision. My approach is normally just carrying the vision of, I'm normally the vision carrier. I carry the vision of how I want to see the community being, and then I hire people and I allocate people based on their talent, because working with women and working with a lot of people means that I spot a lot of talent people. For example, I remember Kushet right now is like the biggest blockchain developer community in East Africa. And I didn't do it alone, like at all. Like I remember there's a time I was given the job of being a community builder for a crypto farm, and I did it alone and I couldn't get past 20 members. But when I identified, like when I work with people, I'm able to see this one is good at filling a group, this one is good at marketing, this one is good at PR, this one is good at and you bring that in a boiling pot, it creates so much working with a team and empowering people, you're able to do much much more than if you try and do things alone. Yeah, that has been my approach for community building, employing people who have the talent in doing things as opposed to trying to do everything alone. Because even if I, like, for example, if you take for example your salary and say, I let me hold this salary alone, and let me not hire people, because sometimes if you find, like, say you've been given a role, if you hold it alone, you might find that you won't achieve anything. But say if you break it down into 5 pieces and you empower 5 people, you'll be able to achieve much, and also free up your time, free up your headspace, and do more rather than just it's just working alone and suffering. Yeah, that has
Yes.
been my approach. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Your approach is actually a great one. Delegating task,
Yeah.
bringing in vision of labor. Like the truth is, if you do it alone, you're going to be burnt out, and you won't be able to even like reach your goal, your vision, and everything you had planned out. There's no way you'll be able to like accomplish all of these things if you work alone. So like that's actually a really really great approach, and it's also helping to um, increase the experience of these women or the people that you have within your team that are working with you, because now it's not part of their portfolio, it's there for life, that they actually contributed to this community in the aspect of, let's say, programs management, or in the aspect of community management, and so on and so forth, and they can actually use that as a stepping stone to even get other jobs and bigger gigs and whatnot, like in the space. So that's actually a great one, Yvonne. Thank you so much for sharing. So we'll be rounding up the session with this one last question, and it's for our two speakers. I just want to know, like, from you ladies, what advice would you give to women, like women who are aspiring to like make their mark in the Web3 space? I would want Victoria to go first, then Yvonne would round it up. Sorry, Victoria, are you still there? You're muted.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Okay. Yeah. So so if you're leading this, go all out. Be, well, I say, be bold enough to okay, let me just share. It's a very, very short story. Sometime between 2021 and 2023, I went through this phase where, if I think it was called, it's called something, where I started feeling doubtful about what I could do, about my skills and stuff, and it sort of like shut me down a bit. And the tendency to for that to happen, I've seen so many persons when you mention things like build in public, collaborate, network, join community, it just sounds like something from the moon, something that's unattainable for them, and something like it's undoable. Like this is something that I've even had like encounter recently. I was talking with someone. I'm like, this is what you need to do. There's no other way around your growth. There's no other way to achieve what you want to do. You have to collaborate. You don't have to build in silo. Trust me, I've built a silo before. I know how it is. So how it is like. So it's very important that you, beyond your fears, beyond your when you're dragging your feet, it's they say go out there, so many tips have been shared today on what to do, collaborate from the first session to this one, actually put them to practice, right? I've seen at some point I even got tired of like teaching people a lot of stuff because of that lack of application part. So at the end of the day, everything boils down to applying what you've been learning. It's not going to be easy to step out there. Maybe, for example, now to write on X, and then you're like, oh God, would people like what I just read? Will it make any sense? Will it make any sense? That self doubt steps in. So you have to like shut down that voice and really believe in like what you're putting out there. If you have value, you don't put it in a box. Don't put that value in a box. Communicate that value, share that value, compass everything you've learned today. Like if you do everything that everyone have shared from the first session to now, trust me, you're going to like achieve a lot of success. A lot of success, really. So that's my 2 cents. Practice and don't be shy about sharing the value that you have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Victoria. Thank you for those pointers. You said we should go all out, we should be bold, and we should learn to put into action everything that we've learned. Thank you so much. Yvonne.
Yeah, I think Victoria hit the nail on the head. I think you should like join a community. I believe Women in DeFi is a great place to start, and also any other community. I had the previous speaker talking about Twitter Spaces and online communities. I think those are usually the best place to start. I think also being very patient with yourself, and don't expect to become an overnight millionaire when you join Web3. It has like a career path like any other. I believe additionally to everything we've talked about as well as the previous panel, I think most of the ladies here are already in the right place and should expect success in the next half a decade or so, or less. Yeah, but thank you for having me, and happy second year anniversary,
Thank
Women in
you.
DeFi.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Yvonne. Thank you so much, Victoria, for joining us today. We really appreciate you ladies coming out, like taking out time from your busy schedule to come and speak with us, come and share with us. We do not take this for granted. Thank you so much. And we're looking forward to future collaborations with you ladies on projects and whatnot. Thank you and bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarah.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Yeah. So to everyone who have actually stayed from the beginning of the session till now, thank you all so much for attending this webinar. I believe you all have learned a thing or two from what like all the speakers, all 6 speakers who came here today. I believe we've learned a thing or two from them. So at this point, like there's no way we could actually take questions, but feel free to drop whatever question you may have on the Discord community and tag me to it, and I will look for a way to like relate it to the speakers. And you can as well throw these questions to me, and I'm more than willing and more than ready to respond to you. Um, and lastly, I want you all to do just one thing for me. Like it's just one task. It's a very simple task. I want you all to like go on Twitter or any like Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, any of the social network where you are most active on, and drop a thing or two that you've learned from this session, and give us some pointers too. Like let's say for example, if I want to make a post, I'll be like, oh, um, uh, probably Africans being consumers and not builders are more of a reason why I got into the space, and I think we should empower more people. Said by Yvonne, like you tag them, probably say a thing or two that you learned from the session, and tag the lady that you learned that from. And generally, if you also learned greatly from everything that we just talked about here today, feel free to share on Twitter, tag WID, tag the speaker, and don't forget to use the hashtag. It is very important because that is what we use to track everything that we're doing. There are two hashtags that we're using, and that is hashtag weed at two and hashtag weed buddies. Or you could do weed at two and hashtag women in DeFi. Any hashtag of your choice. And I really do hope you all do not regret joining the session. I believe you've been able to learn something from them. Please, the only way I will believe that you actually learned from this session today is when you actually drop like your reviews on Twitter as well as on the Discord community. That's when I would know that we didn't come here to waste our time. So please, ladies, and even the handsome gents who joined this session, please do well to say something on Twitter. And yes, I will drop the handles. Let me just quickly do that before we exit this session. Because if I end it, I know there's no way we'll be able to like get the handles of the ladies. So for Precious, that is at Josiah Precious A. For Debbie, let me see the correct handle for Debbie. Oh, the best thing to do, yeah, instead of going through the stress, what you should do is go on the WID page, the post that we made about this webinar, that's the flyer. Check the people, the handles that we tagged there. The ladies, they are all tagged to the handles. So you just like go there and see their handles from the tag directly instead of like us wasting more time here. So I think that would actually help you all better. It will help you all better. The post is literally at the top of our page. So you can just go there and like and get your handles directly from our page. So thank you all so much for joining the session. I hope you all enjoyed this webinar. We look forward to having more. We may be having more sessions like this monthly. It's not a promise, but I'll try my best to see how we can be bringing. It may not just be women, even other men that are doing great things in the Web3 space who could actually come up to educate us. It could also be a YouTube session like this or on the Discord community. But either ways, expect more sessions like this to be up to happen this year in the WID. So it's an opportunity for us to learn more from the experiences of these people. Thank you all so much for joining once again, and I wish you all a great night. I love you all as always. Bye. I would have actually wanted us to take pictures together, but this is YouTube. So maybe next time when we do Discord, I would ask us to like switch on our camera and we'll take pictures like selfies. Until then, bye guys.